Hey, welcome back to the most innovative shipping container channel on YouTube. And we've got our little weekly update here. And outside, we've got a 20-foot office. We built a lot of these, so we haven't framed this one yet. So we'll take a tour of that. And then we'll go inside and look at a couple of projects we got going on at the moment. The big U-shaped office did leave. I'm going to shoot another video when it gets put together on site. But we got it all done, shipped out. So it's on site at the customer. We just need to bolt it together and hook the electrical up, and it's good to go. But it looked really good when we got it sent out. So we've got this office behind us, and then a couple projects inside that are a little bit unique. So let's go take a look. All right, real standard 20-foot office for us. We like the door here because it leaves room for a desk here. And we like a 48 by 36 window. I don't like the 36 by 36. The 48 just gives you more light, looks a lot better, and a 48-inch window is like very marginal cost over a 36-inch window. We've got the mini split mounted. Now we did scoot these over one corrugation because we kept bumping them with the forklift. So just something interesting that we learned. And then you can see our entrance here. I do not use the factory mini split plastic entry and exits. They're just super cheap. They crack, they bust. So I buy these, of course, I think off Amazon. And these are like 2.5-inch inlets. But they're really strong. And then we get a little downslope to that. So, we fill this and everything, but why not have a downslope? Just all that much more insurance against water intrusion. So this one got kicked outside because we got a couple hotter projects going on. Slate gray, favorite color. It's painted, touched up. The door and window are in. You see kind of our final install on the window here. We stitch weld that and then seal it on the outside. So there's not going to be much to see in here other than the mini split lines are ready to be run behind the back wall here, and actually we've got a couple containers in the warehouse that we're framing, so you're going to see exactly how that goes down. We leave the doors operable. So basically how we lay these out is the door is here, and it's a left-hand swing. We leave room for a desk here because a lot of these go to job sites. We center the window between this and that. And then on the other side, we center the window between this and that. So this window is center of the container. And it's not exactly center on measurements because we center it on the corrugation. So if it was exactly center, it would be like right here on an outer, and it would be like on an inner corrugation over here. So we center it on the corrugation. So those are in, primed, painted, windows are in, so we just got a lot of sealant and stuff like that, and then we're going to frame this. So let's go inside the warehouse and look at a couple of these containers that we are framing. So I'll just stay online here. So there's our office, 2 20-foot high cubes with a 20-foot deck on top, and staircase that was already fabbed up, so the wall's cut out of this. Actually, we'll just pop our head in here real quick. We got this big shutter. So there's 2 20-foot high cubes, all running off an extension cord. 120 mini split. Computer, fridge, mini split, and then we run other stuff as well. And that's all literally running off a 15 amp, 120 volt extension cord. So it's pretty amazing what you can do off one extension cord with modern technology. There's the ramp we manufacture. You can put this right up to the container. And whether you have an easy open single handle container or a 4-handle container, you can open the doors and just leave that ramp in place. That is a pretty pricey ramp because it takes a lot of fabrication and plasma cutting. And here we are. So we got a couple of pretty unique projects going on here. So this is a 20-foot concession stand. It's going to a local town here in Kansas, and they've got a 20-foot bathroom. So they're getting 2 units. So here's your door on the concession stand, and we did paint these black. So these were ivory containers. They wanted black. So that's a satin A100 Sherwin-Williams paint. And you can see the concession stand window here, and this is framed. So you can see how we do the framing, and you can see the mini split lines are going to coil up in here, and the mini split will mount inside here, and these are going to get shiplap. But we use 2x3 studs. That gives you a couple more inches of room inside. Unfortunately, they only make 2x3 studs in 8-foot lengths, so if you're framing a high cube container, you've got to rip down 2x6s. So that's not the easiest way. But if you don't care about those extra couple inches, then you can just use 10-foot 2x3s. So here's our concession stand window, and I will go show that to you. So we're pretty much ready for spray foam on this one because we're going to run conduit. So if you're running Romex, you're going to wire it, then spray foam it. If you're running conduit, then you're going to spray foam it, do the walls, then wire it. So there is the concession window, and there is the window itself. These are screens, and that's a 60-inch by 36-inch concession window. And that's the Vevor brand, whatever you want to call it, Vevor, and those are available online. So pretty happy with the quality of that window. It seems pretty legit, pretty heavy duty. This is another 20-foot slate office, so I think it's going to be identical to what we had outside. We've got a couple of these that we're building right now. Yep, that's identical. You guys wondering, the inside of virtually every container is an RAL 7035 paint code. It's a light gray. So that's a really handy color to have if you're building containers or messing with containers or touching up inside. It's an RAL 7035 light gray. Virtually every container is painted that color inside. And you do see some containers that are painted that color on the outside as well. So if you see a light gray container, it's generally that same paint code, light gray. So you can see how we install the windows here. We will stitch, 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 and we get all the corrugation lined up perfectly. Make sure the window frame is in plumb and square, and then we seal it on the outside. The other way to do it is a full weld on the outside, but what you get into is the corrugation wants to walk around on you. A full weld really isn't as good as a very high quality sealant. And the appearance of it, yes, you can get the weld looking very good, but I think you can get the sealant looking even better. So we've done a full weld on the outside, and we do sealant as well, but we're pretty much to stitch welding and doing sealant on the outside. This one is sealed. So this one's got the sealant done, and you can see that there, really nice finish. I wanted to show you, don't think this one is sealed yet. Yeah, so we mark the lines and cut the holes. Do not ever cut big. So mark your lines, cut inside of your line if you haven't cut a lot of containers, but never cut outside your line. And if you're not 100% positive, just cut inside the line. But what we're looking for when we put a door or window in is this. That is literally not sealed. That's how tight we cut that gap. This door is literally touching the corrugation. We don't even have a 32nd of an inch of gap on any of this. When the doors and windows go in, that is literally the cut mark. So, I mean, it's just right on the money. So just take your time and then back it up as you need to. So here's the other container for this particular customer. This is a double bathroom, and these are going to be ADA. So you got two 8-foot wide by 10-foot bathrooms. You've got a walk door for each one. And this one was painted black as well. Clean that lens off a little bit. And so we've got a dividing wall. So this would be a male-female bathroom. And so we're going to have a mini split on this end. So here's what gets a little unique, is we're going to have to circulate that heat and air from the other side. And we're framing this wall. So we're going to frame the doors off because we just don't need them. We've got two walk doors. But we're going to put a thermostat controlled 6-inch fan on this wall, and that fan will move the air over at a certain degrees, let's say 72 degrees. It will always circulate that air over as needed, heat and air conditioning. So that's how you solve the heat and air problem. If you got one mini split and the container is divided, you get that thermostat controlled fan. And so the last little project we got in here, which is a little bit of an oddball, is a 20-foot open side container. And of course, the customer wanted blue, which generally I can find. But this customer wanted a blue open side. And of course, when this customer ordered this container, there were 0 blue open sides available in the entire United States. So we're having to paint an ivory open side container blue. And that's a cobalt blue RAL 5013 paint code. And this will be your full open side, so all your doors open up. These are the most scammed container. I've done videos on that. And this is the first coat, so ignore that. This is your first coat, second coat. So open side containers are your most scammed container on Facebook by far. So if you see a 40-foot open side on Facebook Marketplace for 4, 5, 6, 7 grand, it is 100% a scam 100% of the time. So I'll show you guys one more thing we're working on, which is the solar fans. We 3D print these. There is another vendor on Facebook that sells solar fans. You cut a hole in the roof. It's a big stainless apparatus. I think it's called a solar blaster, and it has a 5-watt panel on top, and it has a 120 millimeter fan, which is your normal like 4.5-inch computer fan. And basically with a 5-watt panel and that lower flow fan, you're cutting a hole in the roof of your container, which you can never undo. So what we did is a 10-watt fan, a ball bearing 120 centimeter fan, millimeter, and we 3D print this entire solar fan apparatus. And so this is the interior, this is the exterior, so this is the intake, the exhaust, and we've tested the CFM on this. Is about 120 CFM, but we 3D print this entire apparatus, and we got one going right here. So we're doing 2 to 3, maybe 4 times the airflow of the other solar fan on Amazon, and we're about half the price. So this is an intake grill that we're printing right now, and you're not punching a hole in the roof of your container, which is the most important part. So if you guys got questions, comments, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching.